All set?
Yep,
Nice! Nice! We're into Champion Select! How are you today, everybody?
Doing
Gonna
pretty good.
pop
How
the
about you?
music off because the music is gonna just be too overpowering for this, and we don't want to have that. So, into Champ Select we go. We have some stats now, and we have all of the fun stuff for this game. We have TSA versus TC Snits to start off the evening with the first match of the night. Let's see how we do tonight.
Silent Assassins versus Snits. It should be a good game.
Well, we'll see. TSA have had very up and down games. I believe that they had the longest game of the actual qualifiers thus far, and they lost. They were winning the entire game, and then they lost at the very end.
Wait, wasn't that one of the games that I? Wait a second.
That was the one that you called.
Wasn't that the one I called? All right.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Yes, it was. Look, all right, fine. I'm breaking out the notebook again, Brent. All right, fine.
Oh, okay.
All right, fine. You want to play that game? We're gonna play that game. Where is it? Where is that page? I should have that page bookmarked somewhere. Here we go. Here's that page. Oh, yes. Brent sucks. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, wait. What?
Oh
my
god. Oh my god. Alright, so these bands, how about that?
These bands, yeah.
Holy shit.
Pull a classic me move right into the bands. All right, coming in.
Jesus.
We got Zed, Jack, Soraka. They got shipped off the Rift, and Lux, Malphite, Poppy overnighted to follow, so we won't be seeing those six on at least in this match. And now the teams are starting to move into what their team comps are going to be, and I don't imagine it's going to be a Teemo.
No way in hell that's going to be
There's
a Teemo.
no way.
Nah, if I remember correctly, either Thornir or Shengu will always hover Teemo while they wait to pick for the champion.
Well, it's probably just a, trademark of their team. They like to troll. This is the one team of all free agents that was created for the tournament, so, can't be too surprised by that. The Olaf pickup!
Olaf is a really good, first pickup, blind, just because he pops his ultimate where he's able to just go straight through any CC that the other team might pick up. And he's also kind of tanky and can do some damage depending on the way he builds, so it's a really good first pickup.
Yeah, and by Odin's beard, he should do pretty well.
Oh my god, by Odin's beard. I really like the Olaf. Oh, the Mundo hover, though. The Olaf is really good because he does offer a lot of diving potential, so that tells me right now, first pick, that TSA is going for a dive comp. So right now, TC Snits needs to think, okay, how do we want to deal with this? Do we want to sit back? We obviously don't want a poke comp because that doesn't work against dive comps. We're going to want an all-in team fight comp. We're going to want a kite comp. We're going to want something to deal with this diving. And it looks like the hovering, the Gnar, and the Vi is what they want to go with, so it seems to be a potential team fight.
Yeah, it looks like Schnitz is coming out of the team fight. I would have liked to see that Mundo out there. It would have been a great presence. You're not going to be able to stun up the Olaf anyways once he hits Ragnarok for him, so you might as well have a really beefy tank at any point in the game, so, not having to run around the rage bar. But ended up deciding to go for that, I guess, better team fighting presence in general. But the Tahm Kench Lulu is just going to straight up cancel that.
Yeah, that's tough. The Olaf has dive potential now, and the Lulu has all the safety in the world with their ultimate, not to mention the Tahm Kench Devour. It's kind of silly. Kind of silly safety from TSA right there.
Kind of silly indeed. And we'll see exactly where these guys are going. It's most likely going to be a Tahm Kench support, but you never know. We could be looking at the top 3 champions here with maybe an Olaf in the jungle, Tahm Kench top, and Lulu in the mid. So we'll see what they decide to run it as.
If I recall, the last time we had a Tahm Kench jungle, he executed to minions. If I recall correctly.
Rest in peace.
Am I right? I think I'm right. I think it was also TSA.
I want to say that you're right, but at the same time, I have pulled off a Tom Kench jungle. It really all depends on the runes and masteries.
Aw.
We'll see.
Grandma's Nips just picked up Ari, which absolutely won the game for Schnitz last time, if I remember correctly, when they turned it around, the game that I correctly called.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Time out.
But
That was not on the back of Grandma's Nips solely. That was solely on the back of the other team throwing 100%, and then a
I
nice
don't
charm
know,
by Grandma's Nips.
the charms, and we got Valentine's Day coming up, so he's just spreading the love.
Oh my god.
So we're gonna go with.
And Grandma's Nips is the number 3rd in top kills in the tournament.
Look at
so
them
far.
apples.
Really? He is?
Yeah, Grandma Nips has
Interesting.
27. The only people above him is Fruto and Oxier.
This is why
Both
we
at
bring in
30.
Visago. He looks at these stats, and he says...
He actually looks
Hey.
at him.
Oh my, yeah, you're right. He got 27, and he's well, technically second because Auxier and Fruto are tied. But interesting. Wow. Holy Toledo.
Wow, indeed. Now, Braum gonna come out and finish his chance select after the Tristana, Annie coming out. So that is gonna be the top 3 we saw earlier, as the Annie, Tristana are most likely gonna be in the bot lane. And
Or
most likely-
that could be a Lulu support. Because
It
Lulu does
could be.
offer... Oh, like, Tristana jumps in, Lulu ultimate. It could all just work out pretty well. And with Ari, I believe that Annie might be a little bit better in the mid lane just for the stuns and sheer damage that she puts out. But then again,
Yeah,
Lulu
sure.
would be there to be able to use her ultimate to kind of survive from the sheer damage after. I'm not saying Recluse is going to get hit by a stun or a charm, but
If he
oh,
does.
I was right. They switched.
Yeah.
yeah, with the way Nips throws out the stuns, though, most likely gonna be able to hit the enemy laners. She did last time against an Orianna, if I remember correctly. So no, that will round it out and make Tom Kench in the jungle, Lulu in support, and Annie mid. So we'll see if Tom Kench gets executed again. Hopefully not. Hopefully he learned a little something, fixed up his rune page for that, but we
Hopefully.
will find out. We'll find out if Bick wants to QKL quick Bick. I think it's
Quicklebick.
Quicklebick.
Just
However
call him
he wants to
Quicklebick
pronounce
because it
his name.
sounds really
Call
funny.
him Quicklebick. And we'll see if he wants
Can you
if
quickle my Bick?
Quicklebick.
Oh, Visago. Come on, PG-13, man.
Quicklebick wants to kind of abuse his time. Kench know he's gonna be low, so we'll see how he decides to operate that in the game. Now the biggest thing we see here is really running with 9 flashes in this game.
Olaf generally runs that ghost so he can chase down whoever he wants. So no big surprise there. He's looking to get an advantage and keep it early game. So if he can get ahead, he's going to be really aggravating. But the team comp coming out of the TC Snits with the Gnar, the Nautilus lockdown, the Vi lockdown, the Charm, it's a really big team fight and a lot of lockdown on the side of TC Snits. And if I know one thing about low elo games, not necessarily low elo, but just games in general, it's that CC wins games. And the only real threat on TSA is probably going to be that Annie and the Olaf earlier, waiting for the Tristana to pick up her items, pick up that hyper carry potential. So we'll see how far TSA can get into this game with the safety they have from the Lulu and the Tom Kench.
That we will indeed, as we're still stuck here waiting to get on. Now I'm getting hyped up. I'm getting ready for this. It's been a whole week. At least since Tuesday. That
It's
makes
been
week
a
for
whole
me.
3 days of a week since
It's been a whole 3 days of the week. Exactly.
Hey guys, I came up with something even worse. You want to hear it?
No.
No.
PG-13, Visago.
It could be taken wrong, but PG-13 it is PG-13 when you look at it from a
No,
stand back point.
Visago, calm yourself. Take a step back. Breathe a little bit.
All right, let's hear it, Visago.
Can you quickle my bick while I'm getting charmed by Grandma's Nips?
Oh my god. This is-
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and move past that one. Forget it ever happened.
That's your fault.
It's not my fault.
Brent, that's your fault. You said go ahead, Visago.
Well, I thought it was gonna be actually something good.
No, Brent.
Yeah,
no.
no, it was wrong. I should have told you it was bad.
Brent, that was your fault, 100%.
Always
Capo.
blame the poor play-by-play caster.
What do you mean you're
See,
the
chat,
one
see
that
how this
said.
happens?
No,
Hey,
you're
Brent,
the-
Brent.
no,
It's
you
always,
are the
it's
person.
always my fault.
Hey Brent, hey Brent. Are you a support man? Because you're always getting blamed.
I used to. Then I started
You
playing
know, it's funny.
ADC because good job Ezreal is the thing.
It's really funny because I'm a jungle main and I normally get blamed for everything. GG, my jungle didn't gank.
That's true. It usually goes blame the support for ward management, and then blame the jungler for losing lane.
Yep, exactly. That's how the game goes. And we got the delay
It's
running
never
out
your
in the
fault.
last few seconds, and we're gonna get into the load screen. Raise your kappas, raise your keepos. Who do we think's gonna
Yeah.
win? TSA or TC Snits?
Are we going for this? Because I know who's gonna win.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
We going for this? Lee you wanna make up for what happened last time?
Well, take your bet.
Actually, call something. All right, so my opinion here, the good opinion on this desk.
The stupid one.
It's gonna be Schnitz. It's gonna be Schnitz.
Okay, well,
I like TSA as a team, but it's just gonna be Schnitz. And here's the reasoning behind it. All right, Schnitz, because you always gotta give some reasoning, right?
well,
Snitch just has a solid team fight. They got the Vi to come in, and they got the Gnar. Now we saw this last time, right? They were so far behind, and they just turned it around with this comp. Exactly this comp. Now they got the extra tank on the Nautilus, and they got a safer ADC on the Corki. That hopefully doesn't build absolutely retarded, like he did last time. But anyway, so like the Gnar, it just provides way too much team fight presence, and the rest of the team is just there to follow in with all of their innate team fighting ability. Now, TSA has some pretty nice champions. Yeah, they got the Olaf, yeah, they got the Kench, and they got the Lulu, but I feel that their champions are just in the wrong spots. Annie's going to be fine and do a lot of burst damage, but if she can't kill anybody off that initial burst, the rest of her team is just going to pop because there's going to be no one left for Tristana.
Mm-hmm.
That's
All right.
true.
I was hoping you'd say TSA. Because I think TC Snits out of the game as well.
Alrighty, perfect.
You know, I guess that means I'm gonna be the one to root for the underdog here. I'm
That's
going
fine.
to.
You can root for whoever you want. You don't have your
I'm
pride
gonna root for
rating
the
on this.
underdog. I don't. So I'm gonna root for the underdog and prove both you guys wrong whenever I win.
If Visaga wins this, Brent, we should just like, I don't know.
You should trust me on every single thing I ever say.
No.
Never question it.
No.
I'm gonna maybe we'll see as these teams kind of go out for early level 1, but Annie's gonna just spot that off right away with a quick little sneaky maneuver into that mid lane brush. So Schnitz, while they were looking for something, is just gonna get spotted out and turned away.
Mm-hmm. No surprise there. Recluses is the kind of carry on TSA, in all honesty. He's probably by far the best member of their team, or best performing member, if I can recall. I think he's the one that won the past game for them, so...
Yeah, I believe the only games that they have won have had recluses on their team.
Yeah, so... Let's see. This Tom Kent's jungle is something that really does worry me for TSA, though, because if I recall, it was pretty bad the last time they played it. Hopefully the past 3 days have given them time to get used to it. So we'll see if he can actually pull it off this time. He does have that Abyssal Voyage. He has that ultimate to get to where he needs to be. It's just so, so foreseen. It's so foreseeable. It's just very easy to deal with.
That is true. And so Time Kitch may have a little bit of trouble, but we are identifying on where they can find these early ganks, and if these junglers can make a presence early, most likely it's going to happen in the top lane, as both we know that Nokia and Thornmere Odinson like to really duke it out. Both are very aggressive top laners, so if there's going to be a jungle impact, it will definitely be up there.
Yeah, it's interesting to actually look at Console took the jungle route where he went Krugs, Raptors to red buff. So he smited the Krugs. He went straight to Raptors to kill them, get that experience for that. And then he had the smite up for his red buff to smite it so he would be healthy enough to do it. So a little bit of a variation on his jungle path. He'll probably have to back here, if not go for a cheeky gank somewhere and then back before he can actually clear the rest of his jungle. So
it looks like it will slow him down a little bit, but that red buff smite is going to keep him healthy, so no execution going to come out in this game as we got some trading down the bot lane now.
Oh my!
Tristana is already going to get forced to heal, and she will die as Corki flashes in to get the kill. Living Paradox, which is way too much damage early.
That was a Foz bomb plus a Nautilus auto attack with the passive, but the gank in the top lane from the Vi.
And Vi's gonna come in, knock Thormir back, but he's just gonna run right on out with the help of an axe to slow him down. As Living Paradox and Penguin just continue the pressure bot lane, shoving that minion wave in the tower.
Yeah, he did have to pop Ghost to get out of that though. It stopped the red buff from actually slowing him, so he was safe to get out in the top lane. So Summoner Spell advantage, not really anything in the top because Nard does not have flash and now Olaf doesn't have Ghost, so no real chase potential yet.
But both teleports are still up, and we may see Nard actually use his here as he goes ahead and goes back for a little bit tankier stats to maybe survive a little bit longer as he's already starting to get a minion disadvantage.
Counter true damage with health, man. That's how you do it. Now
Seems
Vi's
to be
gonna
his
take the top.
Yeah, it seems to be his plan as Vi comes up and covers for him, so he doesn't lose anything under turret. Now Vi's actually pushing the wave, so a little bit of misunderstanding maybe of the lane mechanics and how they work coming out of jungle, but Nar may not have an easy time now as that wave is gonna get frozen under, at least on Olaf's side of the river.
Yeah, but oh, the hook onto Lulu with the trade back and
Oh,
jumps in.
Yeah, Tristana going ham, gonna jump in and then jump right back out. What is the cooldown on that? That was ridiculous.
How did she jump
That
twice?
that was a pretty like because normally it only resets on a kill.
I'm
How did
Oh
Don't-
no, the max stack on explosive charge detonation will allow her to get out of that. Will allow her to re-jump and reset that cooldown.
Ow.
So that's how she managed it, but not exactly the safest thing to do, and she definitely wasn't going to get a kill or a damage trade in her favor from that. So a little bit of an unusual play as Ahri starts to stack up the charm damage.
Ooh. Lots of damage in the bot lane.
Yeah, the fighting bot just keeps continuing, and the jump is now up as the cask exploded. So Tristana's going to be able to jump to safety once again, but they are taking a lot of damage down there. And they are 20 CS down, only 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, that's pretty big, but Olaf's making up for that difference in the top side. Only down about 200 gold overall, so just a lot of trading all over the place, really.
A lot of fights indeed. As Olaf has level 6, Nar's going to jump in with Mega status. He is a level down, so that's not going to be very beneficial for him, and he just, as we see, has to walk out back to his tower and not use his big buff to farm.
You can see Vi and Tom Kench did a little bit of a dance down there near the dragon buff. Getting some vision down there as Tom Kench, I believe, is finishing off the Scuttler Crab. So, oops, what button did I hit? I hit the wrong button. Don't
A
mind.
little bit extra vision around that dragon. May even look to take it here.
Yeah, but now in the mid lane, TSA have the pressure as Ahri is backing with their first back. And he does not have her items and is not backing, but Vi finds a Tom Kench.
Oh, here comes the Vi Corki. Yeah, Vi Corki coming up the river, and
Charm!
he's gonna get charmed up.
Ooh.
But nothing comes in. Nips is out of mana, not quite able to back. Now, I will point out here that every time we've seen an Ahri back, at least in the last couple of games, Ahri, on that first little item spike, has secured a kill for herself. At least in the 2 games I casted on Tuesday, and maybe even in this game as well. So we'll see if Annie respects that damage potentially coming back in the lane.
He's probably going to go Rod of Ages first by going to a Catalyst and be relatively sustainy with that item once he levels up, so I wouldn't suspect too much of a difference from that. Maybe her later items, possibly, but she's up in CS by about nearly 20 right now, and going for a stacking Rod of Ages isn't necessarily bad, but she does go for that nearest dollar.
Nope.
Nope, she's never
She
mind.
canceled it.
Never mind.
Yep, no,
Oh,
she's
she did
going
it
for it
again.
again. Nope. Nope. There's the catalyst. There it is. Opting to go the other direction so
There
she
we
can
go.
get herself a little bit more health with the extra Dorans
Yeah.
and the boots. So that's a very solid choice coming out of this Annie. Now she's going to be pretty scary here. As the catalyst is going to keep her very healthy.
That was a
smiley face.
that was a roller coaster right there, trying to figure out Annie's balance. How many times did she reset her
was.
buys? Like 3
Two or
times.
3 times she bought the same thing. Couldn't quite make a decision. Now Nala's made a decision in the bot lane is they're going to go in with the low advantage.
Oh, the
Here
ultimate.
comes out. The Nala's going to knock up the Tristana. They're just going to get a Lulu ult and a jump to safety. So it's going to be a little bit of cooldown in favor of the TSA bot lane.
That's really interesting because the only reason Lulu had level 6 to ultimate Tristana was because she got solo XP from Tristana dying earlier, and they haven't backed yet. So, kind of a catch-22 that they didn't get that kill right there.
Catch 22 indeed, but they may still be in trouble as Corky Knowledge just continue to put on the pain. Corky gonna take a tower shot, but Tristana should be able to jump out no problem.
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness.
skating it so close as a level up pretty much keeps her alive. And Corky Knowledge is just gonna shove that wave under tower.
That's scary. Corky's got all the poke in the world to whittle down their lane opponent, not to mention the danger of the Nautilus with that hook, with that depth charge, has so much lockdown, so much CC, and not to mention he has some insane damage with his not depth charge, but his Riptide and his auto attacks with that passive. It is a lot of damage, and that's how they got their first kill onto Tristana, so it's a very scary lane, especially being up 30 CS over lane opponent.
That's a lot of damage, and he's tanky as well to boot. So it's very difficult to deal with that Nalus, especially on a champion like Lulu and Tristana. So a great draft phase maybe coming out of the Snits here. Gonna set their bottom lane significantly far ahead, but as we look at the gold totals, the Annie and the Olaf are making up for that first blood kill as they're only 100 gold behind now.
Olaf's
As Olaf
diving
goes
it.
another turret, he may even up this kill count, and he does as he gets a very successful tower dive.
That was a full health Olaf to the quarter health Gnar. If anything, Quicklebick Vi should have seen that coming. Olaf with his ultimate up is gonna dive that
Here he
Gnar,
is.
but
Yeah, Quicklebick coming in with the ultimate, gonna try to run this Olaf down, and he's close, but the axe is
Red
gonna
buff.
slow him up. Is he gonna be able to get a Q? He doesn't have it up as he's not been maxing it, so Vi is gonna give up that kill. Came in with the ultimate, just allowing Olaf to run to safety.
there was no reason to use your ultimate there, Quicklebick. You could have just walked in, gotten auto attack slow with the red buff you had a few seconds beforehand. You would have gotten the auto attack procs off for your W passive, and then if he got away from that, you could have ultimated just to be safe. So, very poor use of Vi's ultimate there. Oh, package.
Oh, the package. Not quite doing anything, but at least it's there. It's
It
a
looked
scary.
cool.
It did. Oh, but the Nalus hook looks even cooler as Tristana takes a load of damage. And gets blown right back to the fountain.
Yeah, this Tom Kench hasn't even done one thing to look outside of his jungle, so you can see he's working his way
No,
down
but-
bot lane, but that is too late to do anything, Tom.
Too late as Console gets engaged on. He eats up the Nalus. The Nalus taking a lot of damage. No mana to really CC him. The Grey Health is about ready to get popped as Nalus just keeps taking damage. But he is so
Gnar!
tanky. Here comes Gnar off the teleport and Vi. TSA is in a lot of trouble here as Nalus just wouldn't fall. And they're able to pick up Shangu for it.
That was miscommunications on TSA part. Tom Kench had enough there to keep the Nautilus down, but they didn't have the damage between Lulu and Tom Kench to do anything. And then as soon as Gnar teleported down, it was just disaster, so Shangu could have got back. But a lot of damage.
A lot
Oh
of
my
tower
God.
diving damage as Gnar is actually going to trade himself back in, tanking too much of that tower after a good ultimate. But Living Paradox picks up the kill on the Tristana in return, and they're able to get a turret, a few kills, and a dragon now for that trade.
That was very questionable thought process by TSA. But let's see what they can do here. Olaf is still about 50 CS over Gnar. Annie is about 10, 15 CS over Ari, so a little bit of a goal lead in both solo lanes. So the only real differential here is going to be the bot lane, 80 carries.
Well, indeed. Now, Corky's got the 4 kills, though, and the 40 CS. He just got so much gold. Now, Nar's actually starting to come back.
You can't win that, Gnar.
I'm not so sure about that. Olaf's out of mana, and Gnar is just so healthy.
Ari's coming in from the side.
Nips is here with the charms. Happy Valentine's Day, he says, as he puts on the damage and picks up the kill. There's one dead Viking.
Mm-hmm. No ward coverage. Said, you know what? I'm going to be super aggressive on this Gnar with no ward coverage. And it cost him a substantial lead on his laner. So,
yeah, it does. Those pink wards have been denying any sort of ward coverage. And they're, the charm again. The Valentine's Day love is just spread all around as Andy gets popped. And Lulu is going to get out, actually, after an ultimate keeps her alive and a flash to boot. So Nips just doing work and showing up. This Recluse, you said, was probably the best mid laner in the game. The next charm comes down. Every time it's off cooldown, it's just finding its target. And here goes Vi, deep under 2 turrets, but he's just going to die. A little bit over aggressive, but may allow them to pick up this turret at some point.
I was going to say, why would you TP to that mid lane? It's 4 enemy members there, and they're sieging it. There's no reason to TP to it. And then Vi does something like that, and then I'm thinking, Vi, why would you ultimate that? There's no reason to.
Well, I guess if it looks stupid but it works, it's not stupid.
It's still not the best, to be honest.
Not the best indeed. But it ended up working, and Olaf picked himself up his first kill for it. Well, good for him.
He got an assist, actually, I believe.
Yeah, no, it was Tristana that picked up the second kill.
Oh, excuse me. Tristana picked up the second kill, then. That's going to help her get back in with the Corky. As I did end up managing to take out that mid turret and get a lot of damage on this top lane turret for it, though.
Mm-hmm. That's really not going to be good for...
Oh,
come on.
Nautilus gonna get out, but Annie and Lulu may end up catching this Corky
He doesn't
Gnar.
have her stun yet.
She missed the ultimate, but still picks him up.
That would have been a lot more effective had she had her stun there to get the Gnar. But unfortunately, she missed it, and she didn't have her skills up for the stun potential. So she did get 1 for it, though, so overall not the worst.
The fight is still on, though, in this top lane as Gnar takes a lot of damage. Even though he's pretty tanky, Nautilus may be a little bit over-aggressive as here comes Vi. It's 3 tanks on the 2 members of the Silent Assassins as Lulu tries to roam up and help, but Olaf took a lot of damage and is going to go down first as the chase onto Annie continues. Gnar trying to get that slowdown. He does manage to land the boomerang. They're going to try to get out. Nips is on the flank. Going to be able to charm up this Lulu.
Oh,
and
man.
Lulu's in trouble. Going to be able to force her out. Tom Kent just over the Rift Herald pit, trying to do what he can, but that may just cost him his life as well. As Ari uses a charge to jump over the wall. And now Snits turns onto the Herald.
Yep, this is very bad for TSA. They're still only 2,000 gold behind with about 6 kills in the deficit, but still, they keep making these silly overextensions that aren't needed. They just need to sit back and play safe, and they'll be fine with the Olaf and the Annie out farming their lane opponents. But they keep going for these risky plays and overcommitting 3, 4, 5 members to one cause, and they get caught out and out-rotated by TC Snits.
They get caught out and out-rotated indeed. Snits has had pretty poor laning phases the last couple of games, but their team rotations have been on point. Definitely a great job out of Snits. We can definitely see where their work has been going to and the improvements they've made, as TSA has just not been able to compete.
Yeah, and to be completely honest, I'm not blaming this 100%, but I'm definitely gonna say that this Tahm Kench pick is very underwhelming right now. The reason you pick up the Tahm Kench anywhere is for that safety potential and that sticky support, but oh my damage!
Man, Nips just has it all in the bag right now, practically. Yeah, but no, this Tahm Kench does feel like that Udyr pick that we keep seeing.
Yeah, he has,
Man,
what, a
almost-
56% win rate in solo queue right now, but he has not won once in the tournament, I believe. Maybe he won once.
He's not
Tahm
exactly a
Kench!
team champion,
Console.
but Nips is like, I'm a team player, and picks up another kill
Oh my.
with the help of the Corky. Gonna be able, take that off of his hands, not weigh him down with the extra gold.
Oh, what a guy.
What a guy indeed, as they pressure this tier 2 mid turret and are gonna be able to take it just about uncontested.
Yeah, this, like I said, poor pathing. This Tahm Kench has not done his job. His job is to be safety for his laners. And in the jungle, that's incredibly hard to do, especially with the Tahm Kench pickup. He's meant to be a sticky support. Anchor toss lands. Wound the charm.
Here's the next tower dive coming in. As Lulu was the first to follow, then comes Annie. Now Nala Stigit returned, and Korg as well. This is not quite going the way Snits had planned, as they're taking a lot of damage from that turret. They're going to have to back out with just a 2-for-2 trade. And what looks like a very clean snip, but the Ari charm, Nips is going to return it, and the fight goes back in their direction. He's going way under tower just to get that orb back, try to get the true damage, but it just wasn't enough. As a minion blocked the charm, and then Tahm Kench, Namnar to death.
I feel like I should just stop trying to analyze any of this game because I can't get 2 words out before another fight breaks out. So I can't analyze, I can't talk, I can't color, I can't do my job because these guys keep doing these silly plays, and like that the ghost is pop. Oh my god.
This is
ghost.
almost like a Monty Python sketch indeed. Ministry of Silly Walks maybe, as these guys are just doing the most absolute ridiculous things you can imagine. Going very deep, but hey, that's why we're here to watch these games. It's a little bit entertaining as TSA goes to take their first dragon.
The whole reason I started this tournament was to help people learn about League of Legends, but I can't help people learn about League of Legends when you keep doing stupid stuff. I don't have time to talk about the right way to do things.
True indeed. Now we'll see what Schnitz can come back up with and their crazy plans. Now that may be their strategy here. If they don't know what they're doing, the enemy sure can't plan around it.
True. Maybe these next level strats coming out from TC Snits. It's all a possibility. It's all possible.
All of it is possible indeed. As the Baron area gets warded up, that may be the next possibility. As Schnitz comes back down, TSA is pushing in on that mid lane turret. But this is going to be our next team fight area right here in the mid lane, as Nar is top with the teleport. But it is a 5-on-3 right now as Corky's coming in to make it a 5-on-4. And I can't see TSA winning a team fight right now.
No, there's no reason to actually try to team fight this. Just stay back, get to your tower. You can't do anything about it. You have Baron warded, not Baron warded per se, but you have the River Bush warded, so you know when they're going for it. So just stay back, stay safe. Maybe smite the wolves. I think that's really something smart to do, especially when you're this far behind. But they get another free turret because TSA just don't know how to handle this.
No, they don't know how to handle it, and the wave management has been there for the Schnitz team. So they've been able to do it. Now, Ari takes a lot of damage, though, from an Annie ultimate and stun. Oh, she's going to get the shield for the face of the mountain, but Thorn is going to be able to ask him a question. And he returns to the fountain for it. Now, the chase is on as they are trying to pressure this into him still. They're going to try to take advantage of this 4-on-5. Going to be able to force the Knowledge Flash. Tahm Kench, Olaf are still coming at him. Now, Olaf has no ultimate, so he should be able to get kited back. He pops the ghost for some reason,
Oh, he got the...
but does absolutely nothing with it. TSA may turn to look a Baron here, and this may be the window for them to get back into this game.
This is super risky right now. They did kill Ari on the backside, so they don't have their mid laner, but... Again, they don't have a lot of damage or burst potential. Annie ultimate is down. She doesn't have her stun up yet. And now they're colliding on him.
Here comes the engage as Olaf coming in with a huge ultimate. Gonna knock up 2 as Corky picks up the kill on Thornir. Now, the Baron is gonna help Gnar take down Tahm Kench. And this is just gonna be a complete wipe for TSA as Snits comes in with 4. And thanks to Baron, allows Nahus to pick up 2. And the rest of his team to just finish him off. So
MVP
great clean
Baron.
ace.
MVP Baron, boys. There's no reason to go for that risk. You gotta kill, push out your lanes. You should have went back to bot lane, pushed out that lane, because there's now at least 3 waves rather of minions crashing into that tower, which is a lot of experience, a lot of gold lost. There's no reason to risk a Baron when you got a free pick on the Ari. So that was a risky call with a very low percentage of paying off, and it cost them the entirety of their team seeing a great game.
It did indeed, because I would even imagine to say, venture guess, that even if they had a Baron buff, they still weren't going to be able to take any team fights.
Yeah.
So it seemed like a very high risk, low reward play, and we see it did not turn out in their favor. As the fight though goes down again, once again in the bot lane, as Tristana just gets absolutely blown out. Now, Tahm Kench came in with his ultimate, but he just landed himself right in the middle of 4. And he's just going to have to flash over the wall for it. And Snits is just throwing the net around this game. And TSA has nowhere to go as Olaf just gets kited back. He's going to turn on towards his mid inhibitor. As the damage down onto the Tahm Kench is going to send them very low and definitely back to the fountain. And he's doing what she can. And it is going to be enough to pick up Ari as Nips falls. Is going to be able to save that inhibitor and the bottom turret.
So Tristana did die in that tuffle down in the bot side. But you still can't underestimate the Annie burst, especially one that has a Rod of Ages that's on about 8 stacks right now. This is where she's going to start to do a lot of damage and a lot of burst. She's got that easily large rod. She's got the CDR with her boots, and she has a Rod of Ages with its increased tankiness, health, and damage. So this is where Annie is going to start to be a real pain in the neck, because while she is behind in her team's global gold, she still has 4 kills. She still has 158 CS. She is a little bit farther behind on this Ari, but she still has the most gold on her team. So you need to pick off that Annie and then deal with the other carries of TSA before you try anything like that.
Yeah, we'll see if Annie can land some big money stuns. If she can get a 3-man or just even, a 2-man ultimate onto this Ari Quickie with that burst damage, that AoE damage, Tama with the stun, it could completely turn around this game for sure. There's no doubt about that. But that's if they can find it. If they can find that money engage, that money fight. But it may not happen as Olaf gets engaged on in the bot lane, gonna be forced to pop his ultimate. And the rest of the Snits team is here though, just waiting for it to go down. There's Nips right when it goes down. The charm comes out, and the rest of the C to boot. And he is gonna have a little Viking funeral back to the fountain.
Yeah, that unnecessary overextension by Olaf, trying to get a little bit more farm, trying to push out the waves. But when you're this far behind, when you're down, 7,000 gold, when you're down 10 kills and down pretty much every tower, there's no reason to overextend past your jungle buffs. Once you get pretty much past your ward coverage line, you shouldn't go anywhere past that. So Olaf, with an incredible overextension, cost him his life again and his 5th death of the game.
It seemed like he just thought he could get out with the ultimate, but the whole Snits team was there to just say, nope, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
and he suffered for it.
Yeah, they're going to push in inhib and take it probably. There's not much that TSA can do. Everyone is up, but every ultimate is up on TC Snits as well, so.
Yeah, TSA, Silent Assassins are going to need a miracle to make it back into the game. That's lightly speaking. They may need a couple miracles to come back into this one.
Well, let's hope the
As
team of
Snits-
TSA is light so someone can put them on their back.
That is true, but I don't think it's gonna happen now. Nalaso is gonna get caught, so this may be a small little
But
window.
is he caught? Is he really caught, though?
I think he is caught, as here comes Tristana, gonna deal loads of damage on this Corky and says, I'll tell you what, we're gonna try to turn this game around, as they may look to once again turn onto this Baron. Now teleport going in top, they're gonna be able to get that tower up there with the huge mini wave. Nar is there, but 3 members from TSA are coming to follow. Vi comes over the wall. Now Annie is taking up the tower as Olaf just takes it down with no care of what the Snits team's doing. Now that Nala is still low from the previous poke, and he is going to go down to that Annie damage. Out here comes the Mega Nar though, and the R. TSA is on the run as the Nar puts the Olaf into the wall, and Olaf starting to take a lot of damage. The Lulu ultimate is going to be very healthy and very alive, and now Nips is in trouble as he is running away on the backside. TSA has just been able to stay very well clumped up, and as a team, not giving any opportunity for the Snits team to pick them apart, and that is going to be a
Super
very
minions in the base, dude.
win.
They might take that tower.
Uh-oh. I was going to say successful team fight
Oh, just barely.
for
Didn't get it.
TSA, and it will be as the minions come out of the Nexus and save that tower.
That was really close. They almost got a free tower for that fight, so... will regen, but incredibly slowly for TSA. They need to be more careful with what they do because they do have an inhibitor down, and... while they did win that fight, technically, they were really close to losing a Nexus tower.
They were indeed. So we will see how Snits decides to counter that. Now they should win any future team fights as long as they don't get caught. But if they continue to get caught like that, we may be able to see TSA come back in. But Snits looking to turn onto this Baron. It's been started, but TSA have no vision of it.
They just got the blue trinket. They see the Nautilus waiting in the brush. They don't want to go in there, but they know they have to get in to get to the Baron.
They have to do something.
Yeah.
Tom Kitch is the only one there. The rest of his team, as they want the mid turret instead. They are going to trade that Baron for a little bit of damage on that mid turret. They weren't actually even able to get it.
Oh!
As the Ori charm stops Propane Bobby from going into the wall, and the package says hello to Lulu as Corky follows him over the wall with 2 flashes.
Annie!
And now Annie steps up a little bit too close, and the charm finds him, and the orb finds 2. Grant Nips a double kill, who's just going absolutely ham once again, and just absolutely carry his team through this game. That they are looking to end it right here, right now, as they have super minions coming in and 1.5 turrets to go through. The first one goes down already. The second one is half health. It is going to go down. It does. Olaf comes in, gets automatically exhausted, and dies. Thanks to that, Nar picking it up. Now Tom Kinch is the last one alive to see what he can do, but it is going to be absolutely nothing as TC Snits picks him up and picks up the game in a solid 31 minutes.
That... Oh, man. That last fight in the... Not even a fight, but that last pick in the jungle with the Annie, that could have gone a lot better for TSA. Had Annie not taken that charm and Lulu taken it instead, yeah, it would have cost Lulu her life, but Annie would have got a stun on Ari and Corky, both of which who had no summoners, so the burst would have immediately killed Ari and at least incredibly hurt Corky, so they probably wouldn't be able to push farther. But because Lulu ran behind Annie and Annie ate the charm, Annie didn't even get the chance to use her ultimate in that fight or skirmish in the jungle. So Annie dies immediately, Lulu dies thereafter, and then afterwards TSA is just done scrambling trying to defend the Nexus. So holy cannoli.